Before we begin, please press the like button and the subscribe button. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that literally every growing business faces, and that's transforming your IT infrastructure to keep up with the times. If you ever feel like your team is constantly juggling apps, emails, and traditional phone calls just to get a super simple answer, well, you're absolutely going to want to pay close attention today. We're looking at a blueprint that breaks down exactly how to modernize your operations and set your small business up for some serious growth.
We're going to explore the communication chaos problem, define what unified communications actually is, and break down the specific benefits for smaller teams. Then, we'll see how this unlocks real small business growth, and finally, look at a practical roadmap for adopting a modern phone system. Okay, let's dive into this.
The communication chaos problem. The digital landscape is evolving incredibly fast, right? And to stay competitive, businesses have had to adopt a massive amount of new tools, which honestly just creates this complex chaos.
You might have one app for messaging, another for video calls, old-school copper lines for voice, and email for literally everything else. It's basically a high-tech game of telephone, which brings us to a really important question to ask yourself. How long does it actually take your team to relay important information to the right person? Think about that for a second. Even in a tightly knit workforce, jumping between 3 different platforms just to collaborate costs you serious momentum and causes some incredibly frustrating delays.
Defining unified communications. So we need to shift our focus to the technology framework designed to actually tame this modern communication chaos.
So, the crucial point is unified communications, which is a technology framework that creates a single, streamlined platform for multiple communication channels. Instead of a dozen different logins and scattered apps, you have one central hub where all your communication lives. It seamlessly brings all those scattered tools together into one cohesive ecosystem.
Let's detail exactly what's inside that hub. It consolidates a few very specific channels. First up, VoIP phone systems. This completely replaces obsolete, expensive copper lines, allowing you to make and receive calls over the internet for some major cost savings. Next, integrated collaboration tools, so you can effortlessly send files and edit projects in real time. Then you've got instant messaging, and finally, video conferencing solutions for those essential face-to-face virtual meetings to keep your remote and in-office teams perfectly in sync.
Breaking down the benefits. Now, let's transition right into the core advantages of adopting this consolidated framework, especially for smaller teams.
A lot of business owners look at this technology and ask, won't advanced communication systems simply be a waste for my smaller team? We have to address this common myth directly. The source material issues a pretty stark warning here. Companies that hold on to this mindset are highly likely to lose out to their proactive competitors. Thinking you're too small for efficient systems is a total trap. If you compare managing a remote or hybrid workforce on a disjointed setup to using a unified cloud platform, the friction is obvious. With scattered tools, you're constantly hitting communication barriers. But with a single, unified cloud platform, those barriers just break down. Whether your team is in the same building or on opposite sides of the country, having one platform means dramatically faster problem solving and much more effective brainstorming. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the financial side. Redundant software costs versus consolidated cloud savings. You might assume unified communications will naturally cost more, right? But by actively consolidating your tools, you actively cut back on redundant software costs. You aren't paying for 5 different app subscriptions anymore. Plus, moving to cloud platforms drastically reduces the need for expensive, on-premise hardware.
Beyond internal efficiency, there's improved customer experience. Honestly, few things are more frustrating for a consumer than an unresponsive service provider. By combining all your communication channels, you prevent that frustration. Your team can stay connected with clients whenever and wherever needed, allowing them to deliver the fast, personalized service that today's market absolutely demands.
Then, we have increased productivity and morale. Simpler systems and intuitive workflows translate directly to smoother operations. When people don't have to fight with their technology just to do their jobs, you get a happy, motivated team. A seamless system removes daily tech frustrations, and that does wonders for team morale.
Another critical benefit is scalability for future growth. Your small business isn't going to stay this size forever. Adding new users to a cloud system is incredibly straightforward, meaning the system actually grows right along with you without ever requiring any major infrastructure overhauls.
Finally, better security and peace of mind. Evolving digital threats are a massive worry for small businesses today. Unified systems tackle these threats head-on with robust data encryption, secure logins, and strict industry compliance. It ensures your communications remain highly protected, which definitely lets you sleep a little easier at night.
Unlocking small business growth. And this brilliantly illustrates how unified communications is quickly becoming the absolute norm across so many different industries to streamline operations.
Adopting a modern phone system. So for companies that are ready to upgrade their infrastructure, let's move into the actionable roadmap provided by the source. Here are the practical steps for adoption. First, you need to identify your key pain points. Where exactly is communication breaking down right now? Second, research modern phone systems that address those exact pain points. And third, work with a provider for support and implementation. This last step is especially critical for small businesses that just don't have a massive, highly capable in-house IT team to manage a complex migration. As an example of that support, the source notes the TQIQ phone roadmap. The recommendation here is to work with a dedicated provider like TQIQ Phone because they offer the necessary training, ongoing support, and a very clear implementation roadmap to ensure your transition is incredibly smooth. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final provocative question directly from the source material. What works, and more importantly, what doesn't work in your existing setup? In a world where rapid communication is the standard, sticking to outdated tech might literally be holding your company back. Take a hard look at your current systems and ask yourself if they're actually helping your business grow or just creating more chaos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.